everybody. Welcome to the Ming and Mike Show, broadcasting live from Shared Universe Podcast Studio, Eatontown, New Jersey. God, I feel so rusty.
Where are we again?
Shared Universe Podcast Studio.
Holy
Eatontown,
crap!
New
I can
Jersey.
see the whites of your eyes,
Feel
Ming.
so freaking rusty. Welcome everybody.
You're
on this
used to
beautiful
being.
night. I'm used to being like at home.
Yep.
And, it's so weird. But my name is Ming Chen.
It sure
I
is.
introduce myself. Sitting across from me, from about 6 feet away.
I am
approximately.
Michael Zapcic, sitting a foot and a half away from me because she has no idea about social distancing. Is my beautiful wife? No, it's not even, honey. It's like it's 18 inches.
It's 18 inches away.
All right.
18 inches.
A foot and a half. You were right.
The beautiful
Julia
Julia Zapcic.
Zapcic. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Yes. Welcome everybody. Feels good. Feels good being back here.
Feels
I
great.
I'll be honest with you. People were like, Ming, are you going nuts? Because at about this time of year, I'd be traveling almost every weekend.
Yeah.
People thought I was going nuts. No, I had fun. I had fun being at home. I had fun. Like every day wasn't a school night. I stayed out past my bedtime. It was my kids outlast me. Our kids are up till 5 a.m.
How
Yes.
awesome is that?
They definitely. If there's any doubt that those were my
Yes.
kids, there's no more doubt.
Yep.
Those are my kids. So, but thank you for tuning in, everybody. I know we've been pretty busy, so which is a great thing. So we missed you guys.
Absolutely.
But
and Michael missed you so much. He just
Hold on.
He's
he's sharing.
This is-
responding
this
to
one's-
somebody.
This one's.
oh,
he's sharing.
is that
This
one of
is
the?
something.
Okay.
That was yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as you can see,
So-
though, we're pretty safe and sound, which was good.
Yeah.
We took precautions. We
Well, actually,
didn't leave the house too much. I was
No,
doing all right.
nope, that's not me at all. I was at the store every day, even when it was total lockdown. I still went to the store.
You did
I
actually.
cleaned and
did.
sanitized,
Mm-hmm.
and I was there
Organized,
for like three
yeah.
or 4
Was
hours
it-
every day.
Was it therapeutic? Was it good?
It was.
Have,
To have nobody there,
was it just you?
it was just me and get him. Steve Dave would come in at around noon, I guess.
Okay,
'Cause he had to-
you let him come back.
Yeah, well, it wasn't up to me, and I mean, I was like, all right.
Okay,
When you get here, I'm out. Because he's, you know what? Get him is not a bad person.
no,
He's not.
No.
He's actually quite funny at times. And he's quite, I hate to use this word for a
quite
guy.
funny.
He's
Just use
quite
the word
funny.
funny.
No, well, if you know get him, you have to use the word quite sometimes.
Okay,
'Cause-
fair enough.
Funny is a relative term.
Sure,
And I hate to use it. He can be sweet. He can be thoughtful.
at times, sure,
Which is-
absolutely
yeah.
can.
So-
Absolutely can.
I have no problem with getting him, but I'm like, all right, look, this is my therapy time. This is my alone time. I'm doing this. So when he got there, I took off. And
And what time would you roll in every morning?
like 9:30.
And so officially, our lockdown from our government started March 21st. It
Yes.
was a Saturday night at 9 p.m.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I I know because I was here until
We were looting this place. We were actually grabbing
you
our
can't
gear.
loot from yourself.
No, but we were grabbing gear so we could socially distance
And podcast. Yeah.
just
Mm.
in case, because you had ideas, which I'm giving you full marks, buddy. It was genius. Grabbing StreamYard, that was fantastic.
I quit fishing for compliments, Smithers. I'm choking it down.
I'm not.
No, I mean, really, Shared
Dude.
Universe didn't miss a step because, I mean, you
No.
had done a lot of pre-planning.
Yeah.
You had people up and running within a few days.
I was not
doing
going to let
remote
anybody
podcasting.
stop.
That's
No,
what I'm
was-
saying.
that's
Credit where
true.
credit's
That was
due, man.
The number one
That's
thing
true.
that was going to kill us was anybody stopping.
I know.
As you know, you go off that diet, you go off that routine.
Of course, you get
You-
fat.
Even if you love it,
yeah,
even if you love it, if you miss a couple weeks, like, you know what? This,
you get
I buy
lazy, mentally lazy.
yeah, I
And-
was
Well,
not.
that
And not only
piece-
that, and
yeah.
if you love it, you want to keep doing it no matter what.
Of course.
And I wasn't going to let anybody stop.
That piece you put together, it was really impressive too. Not only did most of the podcasters who've been with us continue to podcast remotely, but how many? You had 10 new podcast
And 10,
shows?
now 11. But
Yeah,
yes,
we have
that
11, yeah,
we
yeah.
grabbed another new one last week. It's been great. And
Yeah.
And
I
just to get this off the table, there was somebody who was trying to breathe down our necks, being like, "We're going to be your number one competition," and that was like a week before. Weren't they supposed to open like a week or two before?
I have
I'm
no
just
idea.
saying.
I'm not even going to talk about them.
I'm just not. No, you
I
can't.
don't
Why?
talk about
Why
them.
not?
No,
All right. I'm just saying. And
I-
they're
Why
not,
do you,
they're not here.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I would rather-
Why not?
No, because
I would rather be remembered as the studio that kept people going, even
Yeah,
through
We're,
yeah,
a
keep,
yeah.
we're keeping
worldwide,
them going.
a
Exactly.
like a literal pandemic, a literal
a
killer
worldwide
virus.
pandemic. Yes.
That we didn't let anybody stop.
Yeah.
I think I'm hoping people will remember us for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I think-
I'm sure they'll remember us for a bunch of stuff.
I think
but
they will.
It was. I mean, I feel very grateful we were all able to keep going. I mean, I work in an industry. I'm in digital marketing, so that's my day job, and we were able to keep going. In fact, we got busier
Yeah.
after the lockdown.
Good.
And have remained, even busier than ever. And like I said, you were going in every day,
Uh-huh.
keeping yourself busy, and then within a few weeks, you guys actually resumed. You all are in the shop doing things. In fact, you just finished fulfilling what is it, 350 curated boxes? Yeah, I know. Michael's like,
The
and
boxes.
no
The
one,
boxes.
no one can sign up right now. Orders are closed. So this man can
Well,
regain his sanity.
that's
But
I-
it was
I-
really successful, really, and you've just gotten a lot of really nice feedback from people who it's meant a lot
And it
to
was
have.
a team effort, and
Yep.
you know what? Getting Brian there was kind of difficult. Ming dropped by, so I mean, yeah, we did. I'm not gonna name the number of ones
think
we
that's
did.
impressive.
I think
Why
you've already
not?
mentioned it, but
I think that's
for
impressive.
I never
Just-
said the number.
just back up just real quick, we sold comic book men curated blind
Comic
boxes
book men curated blind boxes
at the
yes.
store, and Mike spearheaded this. And I say it saved the store. I am just gonna come out and say it right now.
Well,
I think so
Save
too.
the store. Prior to that, what were you making a day per week? Not much. Not
30
much.
cents. I don't know.
No, I've talked to business. I talked to. I was getting copies from one of our fellow business owners. He's like, "Oh, dude, thank you." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Has it been bad?" He's like, "I made $100 last week.
Mhm.
Last
Yeah.
week in a week."
Yeah.
And I felt bad for him. This is one of our local printers. I do a lot of printing with him. I try to do it local, and he's missing out on graduation programs.
Oh my God! Of course.
Sports, things for sports, just all that stuff that isn't happening right now. I felt bad for him,
Mhm.
but he opened up specifically for me and I was just making 20 copies, but he was like, "Hey, thank
That's
you."
awesome.
No, but I think it's important to acknowledge everyone who ordered too, because it was they got something, but they also gave something too, because they're just again demonstrating how strong the community is that supports Kevin Smith and what
Well,
he's
hell yeah.
built, and Comic Book Men in the store, and you guys. I mean, I think it was sweet as hell. I mean, when you guys launched it, you had no idea whether there'd be any comers, and it was overwhelming.
I had a good feeling, but as I saw you or talked to you later
Yeah.
and later as the promotion went on, it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, gee golly, Willikers, this is gonna be awesome." And then at the end, you're like, "This fucking sucks."
I wasn't
Fuck
that
that.
bad,
It was
but I was
pretty
just like,
bad.
oh my God, because we were just, I mean, Walt and I were doing the boxes.
Sure.
I had you and Brian coming in on whenever you guys could make
sure,
it.
Sure.
So the
we
bulk
signed
of
a
it
lot
was-
of things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you guys, thank you so much for that. And you and Brian went out of your way to sign stuff. And no, you can
You can go out of our way. There
come
was
on.
no way to go to.
I
It
know,
was
but it's still
it
the
was
signing
like-
is a pain in the ass. You know that as well
This
as
is
I
what
do.
we signed up for, my
True.
friend.
So, but that was great. And here's what's going to happen. And I've been getting a lot of, a gentleman today sent me a thank you card.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like, I didn't talk to anybody for months except for my family.
All right.
He's like, talking to you for that 20 minutes was awesome.
You talked to him for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I would talk to people
Okay,
when
fair
they
enough,
called,
fair
because
enough.
you know what? Everybody
That's
needed
cool.
like that.
It's totally cool.
And when we went online, that's when I started getting people who were, some guy like complained that I disregarded one of his
Requests.
requests.
Wow, it wasn't. We didn't put on there like
No,
make your own
but
request, like build your own box.
we
It's called a
didn't.
blind box.
Yes,
You don't
but-
know what you're getting.
But he said I want DC stuff.
Sure.
But he put it in where his address is.
Oh,
So I'm like, I didn't see that.
So his address was the Hall of Justice.
No,
or the what's it called? The Swamp Doom, the Doom Swamp. Isn't that where the League
The
of
Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom?
yeah.
That's where they're like. It's outside of
Yeah, their
Gotham.
headquarters.
in
Yeah.
in an undisclosed swamp. How did they always find the good swamps though? That's what I want to know.
That's true.
You can find it. We were at Flanagan's house yesterday. He literally
You think
lives
he's got
across.
the- you think
He's bordered by 2 swamps. So
Do you think at night that the Legion
The
of Doom place
swamp.
comes out?
That would be awesome.
Because
I bet you it does.
Because Walt's like, the hell's that? It's lowering my property value.
yeah.
No, that would actually
For
probably
sure.
raise property values. So when are we opening again for reals? Like
Here?
the
Well, the government
physical
announced
studio.
about 5 hours ago that
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, outdoor dining can resume and non-essential retail stores can open.
So,
And I think we're in that. We're non-essential retail / service.
He's gonna go
so,
get the other stuff. Yeah. So
and
we're good to go, right? Because we've
been ready.
We had a whole plan scoped. I mean, as you can see, even though Michael and I are sitting less than 6 feet apart, I mean, Ming and I are probably like 9 feet apart.
Nah, it's about 7.
7
I've
feet
measured
apart?
it. I mean, if you want to
I
grab
don't know.
the
Let's
other
see.
end,
Hold on. Let me
I'll
see.
hold that up for everybody.
Yeah,
About
definitely
about
7
6, 7
feet. Yeah, 6, 7 feet. So, yeah. So we will be open when, Ming? We're going to be open the 15th.
June
Yeah.
15th. June 15th. If you want to come in.
If
Yep.
you guys are worried, we have face masks.
We have masks, we have gloves, we've got hand sanitizer. We fully disinfect all of our. I mean, we always did.
It'll be a slow open. I
yes.
think we have 2 studios in here. I think we'll keep it at 1 for the first week or so.
Yeah.
Asbury, well, we still have it, so we may limit that to nights right now, but we'll figure it out.
As soon as we can.
Yeah, just positive. I mean, in a week full of really bad news and events, that's some pretty positive.
And
news
we're going to
right there.
continue to offer online streaming.
Oh, absolutely.
Podcasting
Yeah, I
services,
mean,
yeah,
if
so,
there was anything good that came out of this, you don't even need to come down here anymore. I know before we're like, come on down, have fun. This is awesome.
All of
California,
our buddies in California, exactly.
If you're in Alaska, if you're in Atlanta, or if you're in London, if you're in Alaska, if you're in Russia, you can podcast. We'll connect you with whoever you want to talk to.
Yep.
It it's something I would have done before all of this, but I didn't want to lose the face-to-face,
of course, and
human interaction.
Look at this. Look at what we built.
Sure, this is cool, but if you can't make it down, if you're 3,000 miles away, you don't even need to come down here.
Yeah, talk about the Hall of Justice, though.
Sure,
right here.
I'd say we were more superhero than supervillain in here. If you were to count everything,
I didn't call it the Legion of Doom swamp. I called it the Hall of Justice. We're good.
Yeah. So that was. I mean, that's one good thing that came out of this. So if you want to take a class with us, we'll do it virtually. We've done a number of those. We've taught classes virtually. You don't need to come down. And it's a lot of fun. People have really been enthusiastic. People have been having fun. And,
oh my God, absolutely. People and. Here's the thing is a lot of people have been, especially when we do even the Point Blank, when we do Point Blank podcast on Wednesday nights.
And Point Blank, by the way, just for those of you who are just tuning in and may not know, Point Blank is the official podcast of the Ross Brewing Company, right?
Yes. Very good. Mm-hmm. Nice little curtailing. I like it.
I don't know if everyone knows that. And Ross is awesome and a sponsor of the studio. So it doesn't help to. It doesn't hurt to.
is fantastic. And Todd and Mo.
Give him a little shout out.
Of course, we're going to give him a shout out. But I'm just saying that John's been amping up his game.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I think everybody has. I really got to give it up for everybody.
Yeah. And most of our podcasters out there who've been, look at CJ Collin.
Yeah. Started his own show.
My God. From Hang On Shorts Film Festival.
He's watching right now. DJ. Shout out. Shout out.
Cullen Film, man.
Check Cullen on Film on Facebook, on YouTube, on
and
SoundCloud.
You know what?
The Asbury Pod, I mean, they've really stepped up and used the opportunity to stay in touch with folks, right? I mean, they've been
I can't thank them enough.
They've been on every week, haven't they? I mean, talking about outreach and community.
They've been great.
Yeah, they've been spectacular.
They've been great.
And you've been reaching out to people just around the community to talk about what they've been doing and how they give back, which is fantastic.
Keep it going. And for anybody who's booked me and Mike for a podcast, that was kind of a new thing. We're going to keep that going as well. So
Yeah, thank you very much. And
Yeah.
you've helped us keep the lights on. It's fantastic. And
that's been really fun.
Yeah.
I love being on other podcasts. So,
and it's been really, really insightful to get other people's takes.
Yeah, and typically anyone who books me and you're their geek podcasters. So
Of course.
this is all stuff that we love talking about. But that one dude was like, I don't even have a podcast. I just want to talk to you guys.
That was
that
amazing.
dude's awesome.
I'm friends with him on Facebook now, and I've been watching all of his conversations, and they're amazing.
Now, you don't think that I mean, what do you attribute the recent article? I'm getting all the plugs in today. I know you hate this.
Oh my god!
But that ranked the Ming and Mike show as one of the 8 best
I'll see if I can find it.
to listen to during the pandemic. Well,
because we're not plugging everything, honey. That's why.
I
tonight
thought it was really nice. I don't. Ming, do you happen to remember the name of the
Chris Johnson?
Chris Johnson. That's right, Chris Johnson.
See if I can find
so
it.
It was some really nice ink, and there were
Chris Jordan. I'm sorry, Chris. Sorry, Chris.
There were a bunch of podcasts that I hadn't even heard of that I went and listened to. They're all great. So it was a nice group to be listed with. And we definitely are grateful for the recognition. You can look it up. I know that we all shared it on Instagram and Facebook too. But it was an article about 8 podcasts, Jersey-based, worth listening to when you're in lockdown, but not on lockdown forever. It turns out, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They listed 8 podcasts, and 3 of them are recorded here. So next year we go for the full sweep.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Well, we had a couple of our podcasts like, oh man, I didn't make the list. I'm like, don't worry about it. They had to get Snooki in there.
Podcast. If it weren't for Snooki,
so you got to have Snooki in there. So
gotcha.
And I love it. Brian was like, he didn't say where's us. It's like, what about Kevin?
I know he wanted other people to say where's us.
Sure.
Where's tell him Steve Dave. And I don't know. And I told Brian, I'm like,
I mean, I think the writer was like, dude, it's like Kevin can hold his own. He doesn't need a plug from me. But I'll pull. I found it here.
Speaking of Kevin, what's going on? Is there any other news about Smodcastle? Is it still going? I mean, obviously,
we talked to
Ernie's working on it.
Yeah.
Ernie came over and did something for us. So
we talk to Ernie every so often.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everything is slowed down because of the hold up.
I'm looking up there, and I saw Michael O asked, "Do you guys think the stash will make it?"
Well, that's one of the questions. Because we'll answer this one first. So Michael O on Facebook asked, "Do you think the stash will make it? I've always wanted to visit. Worried I might not get the chance. What? How do you answer that?"
Get your ass down in the stash. We're there. I mean, we're making it. And we are, as soon as we can open on the 15th, the doors are open.
Right.
Come on in. The more you come in and the more you support the stash, the longer we'll stay in business. So, I mean, that's simple economics. So support the stash. We'll support, Kevin's living, museum.
Sure.
So
all right. So speaking which, the boxes right now can't be ordered. You've closed
not right now
ordering because you had to catch up.
We had to catch up.
Are you going to open them back up?
Yes.
Okay.
When? Hopefully by June 15th.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Hopefully. Okay. I'm not going to go
overpromise.
I'm not going to I'm going to underpromise and over
deliver.
Thank you, honey.
Well, I think basically
why did I invite you here again tonight?
To help you finish your sentences.
Oh my god!
And basically, what happens? You put out that we were out of Kevin signed stuff, which was part of the box.
But so we're going to retool.
Right.
We're retooling the boxes. They are now going to have an 8x10 signed by all 5,
which is very rare.
Which is incredibly rare.
Yeah,
it's that in and of itself is worth like. I mean, if you went to a con and you got all 5 of us,
sure.
$150 right off the bat.
Probably, yeah, around there, yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna figure out a price point for it, and we're gonna over deliver with the goods, and again they're gonna be blind boxes, but we're not gonna give like Kevin signed stuff. That's gonna be the Kevin signed thing, and then you're gonna get comics that we love.
Fair enough. So
and everything that went out was something that me, Walt, Brian, or Ming read and had a very soft spot in our hearts.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
and stuff that you guys should be reading. You know, you got some downtime, read it.
Yeah, totally.
And like I
Make
said,
time
I
for
even yeah, exactly. You've got what do you mean make time for it, baby? They've got time. And a lot of stuff came
Well,
out of my personal collection. So
not everybody.
I think you
has
literally
been,
came in here as I see the shelves are a little bare here.
yeah, a
I-
little
I-
bit bare. I took some I took
heard
some
you.
trades out of
I
there.
think I heard you literally took stuff out of here, like right behind that shelf
Yeah.
right there, and you gave it to people.
I did.
That's how giving you are.
That's how much I believe in the boxes.
Right.
And how much I believe in Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. I
so,
love it. So,
we're going to be spending time this summer going to basements and flea markets and replenishing the collection so we can continue to put stuff together.
I would hope
to sound like me now. Like, hey, can we go on a comic scroll?
Like,
I
are
hope
you
so.
out of
I hope
stuff
so.
though?
Dude, do I look like I'm out of stuff?
No, at the store though. I imagine
I
would have imagined
we are starting to. Yeah, our back issues are starting to have some holes in them. Because
Sure.
you know, you picked out almost all the Hawkeyes and the G.I.
sure.
Joes out of
Well,
there.
I mean, hey,
And the Transformers. I don't have a Transformer comic in the stash.
nor should you. Those
Nor-
should be going to people who
appreciate them,
will
yes,
be
or-
reading them over the summer for sure.
And I mean, there's still a couple of things that I've got there that we didn't even touch. Like, but the new Teen Titans, Walt and I both dove on that one. We were kind of fighting over which one, you know.
For like which person would get
Yeah.
that one?
he's like,
like
give me that.
just
And I'm
for
like,
your-
no.
Just for your cred, your
Yeah.
own personal cred.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
pretty
much.
That's pretty funny.
So it was actually kind of funny to see
That's
us like
awesome.
slapping each other. Give me that.
You guys are slap fighting.
Slap fighting.
I
And get him
nice.
jumped on me and like severed one of my vertebrae.
See, now that you could have taped and that you could
That
have
would
put
have been
behind a
yeah, that
paywall.
would
Yeah,
have been pretty much.
that would have been awesome.
no, everyone should see that. That should be accessible to everybody. That's that should be public domain right there.
So Ming, on our way over here, we stopped
Oh, my
by.
God.
I know we had to stop by.
All right,
just,
so
like, just to change the
hold
subject a
on.
little bit.
Well, we're gonna change the subject, but
We had-
let's throw this out there first. This world is in chaos.
Right.
We're in. I mean, this is
Unfortunately, yes.
it's messed up, and
it's bad.
yeah,
It's bad. It's really bad.
really bad. And there's nothing that anybody can do because we're still in lockdown mode, and so I
That's-
mean, it's a
Well, people have been doing things
That's
despite being in
that's
lockdown mode.
that's not true. You can lend words of support. You can donate to the funds. You can sign the petitions. There are things you can do.
that doesn't seem like enough though.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
you do
words
what
are
you
words,
do what
so-
you can do though.
Yeah, I guess.
Mitch, our oldest, he's 17. He actually has a list of things if you're interested, because I was asking him about that, and he has a whole list of opportunities to make a difference.
Then good.
Did you
We're good.
remember
From
any of
where
them?
you are?
Just
Um,
in case anybody doesn't know. I mean, there's plenty out there.
He
It's-
didn't list specifically, and he just like he's compiling them and he's going to send them to me. But there's I know that a lot of people have been supporting like local food kitchens, relief efforts
Sure.
to help put businesses back together and clean up communities, education funds. There's some national organizations against racism and education again, in order to fill the gap of knowledge
Yeah,
that
you
we
work,
have.
you do what you can.
so,
Everyone's
yeah.
hurting right now, so
Yeah.
it's
But his message is, just like posting something to your Facebook account with like we love you, we stand with you, we stand with people, is not enough. You
Sure.
might as well do nothing than just do that, because that's almost like worse than doing
That is worse than doing
staying
anything.
silent.
And that's the thing
Um,
that kills me. And so that's just the background, all the crap that's going on. And,
it's one thing after
prayers and-
another.
yeah, I
It's,
know. Of course it is.
The image in my head, when all this happened was a smiling Mike Zapcic holding up his brand new 2020 planner on New Year's Day with so much promise and a big smile and the potential that he could have filled in for every day, and it all like within the matter of a little over two and a half months later, it all kind of went to hell.
No, actually,
And now can you just scratch out the 0 and put a 1 on there?
no, she keeps making me write in there, and it's
The
stuff
same
that I have to
thing,
do.
like go to stash,
No,
Yeah.
fill out box, go home,
box, go
eat
home,
dinner,
sleep.
go to bed.
No, there's still
just-
house
it's such
projects to
a-
do. There's still,
There's
you
always
know,
house projects
yeah.
to do.
there's
I know,
still-
Her
but I
honeydew
know
list, but
that
yeah.
you bought that planner hoping to write bigger and better
No,
things.
it
in
was a
there.
gift for Christmas. It was your gift to me for Christmas.
It's not really. Is that a gift or a chore? I'm not really sure. It's not like
It's a gift.
that was the image in my head when the virus.
Oh
And
man.
I was like, wow.
And then
that,
with all the shit that's been going on for the past,
Week.
no, the week.
Well, I mean,
let's
in this-
talk the
in this
last
partic-
200 years.
Right.
So just us constantly burying our heads in the sand for everything that's going on, and I'm looking at both sides. And here I am. I saw somebody made a Venn diagram of George Floyd.
Sure.
Heartbroken over George Floyd.
Sure.
Then hating the looters, hating this, hating that.
right. What's in the
feel-
middle?
And I'm in the middle, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, and it stops you right in your tracks, and that's the thing that kills me constantly. It stops you in your tracks. There's nothing you can do. Like, do you go out? Do you put your I don't know. Do you put your ass on the line?
Sure. You can. Sure. Absolutely. You do.
Well, hold on, but you have a responsibility to your family. They don't need you dead.
I mean, I think there are ways, less risky ways to stand up and.
Okay.
And,
Well, and you know,
educate me.
and
Yeah.
not, I
No,
mean,
hold on,
and
educate me.
remember
You
that
do it.
the press was showing us all of the most egregious and
Of
most,
course, and
I mean, in Long Branch over the weekend, there was a very peaceful protest
Yeah.
right along
Fantastic.
Pier Village. In Asbury tonight, they're having hopefully, I assume it's a peaceful
so far
protest.
so good. Our
in Asbury.
correspondent and engineer Christian Cortez was down there. He can chime in.
Is he?
And in all those cases, I mean, in Long Branch, unfortunately, I've been oversaturated. Like I say, I do social media and digital media as for a living. So this weekend I sort of unplugged because I just needed a break. And it wasn't until it was too late to to like make a plan to go that the boys were like, oh, I just got a text, they're having a march on a Pier Village, and it was practically over by that point. But when I went back and looked at the messages and the images afterwards, it was really, I don't know. You just looked at it and you saw people arm in arm, everybody,
Sure.
from the community. You could tell, like, you saw your neighbors, you saw people you knew you lived there. And it was okay. It's not all mayhem everywhere. Like there are people that are running together arm in arm to make a statement, and it's not terrifying, it's uplifting. There could be hope, right? There could be hope if people got up and,
There
did
are some
something.
there are glimmers, and that's what I'm trying to focus on. It's just
Yeah.
it's rough when I'm seeing a lot of towns I went to had great times in Rakans, and they're on fire.
That's
and
right.
And people are getting hit by tear gas and rubber bullets. It's tough. It's tough to watch.
Well, our youngest son came to us tonight really upset, like shaking upset, and showed me a video. And he said, "Mom, someone just sent this to me. The GameStop, right up the street from us was looted." And he showed a video. So Michael and I took a ride over there on our way over here.
Right.
Vivian,
And it was
Should I send
not.
these to you
It was
so you
it
can
was
put 'em
not.
up?
I mean, it
There
was
was no
some
looting.
GameStop in some strip mall that could have been any strip mall.
No,
They said
right.
it was-
Was he like, oh, this is in Omaha, Nebraska? Screw them.
yeah,
No.
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
he was super upset, and we were all sort of upset because we thought, oh my goodness, like we just finished saying
Yeah.
how nice it was to be part of a community that stood up for each other,
Sure.
and didn't give in to like all the worst of the political baiting, that's going on and stirring up. And then like we were like, oh my gosh, like this store was looted, but it wasn't. So, but I don't know how your kids are younger than our kids. I mean, our
Sure.
kids are a little older. Your kids are probably 5 to 6 years younger.
Not that
And,
much.
A little,
Three-
yeah,
yeah,
around the ballpark, yeah.
Are they asking questions? Do they?
No, I mean,
No,
I've seen the protests, and
Yeah.
I think my son's kid wanted to go to one. Like, I don't think that's a great idea. Maybe if you're a little older and
Wait, your son's
bigger.
kid?
My son's friend. My son's
Friend. I'm like, Emerson has a son? Holy crap. That just freaked me out, man. I'm
yeah,
like,
but
oh my
I mean,
gosh.
I think for the most part, the kids are kind of in their own world. So you try to protect them from stuff like that, while at the same time making them aware. But
I
Yeah.
think that's part of the problem is that nobody's talking and nobody wants anybody to talk. And you know, when you, I am actually at a loss for words right now. Here's the thing: if anyone says choose I choose humanity.
Sure.
You know, it's
Is
about.
anyone?
That's very Bruce Lee of you.
The thing is, it's interesting that you would say that though, because I don't think any of the conversations in our house, and we really haven't been talking to a lot of other people, have been about. It sounds like you're bringing a lot of stuff that you've carried with you, or you're like looking at on social media. Because in our house, there is no choosing sides. I mean, we're all
Honey.
like,
when you're talking about, you're on Facebook, there are people who are. I'm drawing the line. Unfriend me if you. And it's like you're being constantly
that's where that's coming
bombarded.
from. Yeah.
By
that's
Facebook,
why, that's why I was off Facebook,
by Instagram, and that's why I was going to take it. But unfortunately, I don't have that luxury right now. So when there are people out there,
what do you mean? What luxury?
Luxury of like taking a break from Facebook
why
or
not?
Twitter. Because I'll explain.
Because I'm addicted, and I can't.
Just take your phone and throw it as hard as you can against the wall over there. There's a concrete
like
wall
Brian
over
Johnson.
There. Yeah.
No,
that's what he does in it. Of course, look how good it works for him.
I know.
Does he really?
Free stuff.
Right. You don't have to check Facebook and Twitter.
No. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't have to check it. But
you can
every
disable your accounts.
Every once in a while, I get a thank you. A sincere thank you from somebody.
Sure.
And it's like, oh my God, you guys got me through the pandemic.
Sure. Those are the bright spots for sure.
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking. Those are the glimmers that you were talking about. But by the same token, when you're bombarded constantly by this, it's just information and it's sound bites. It's not even like,
well, I mean,
for
good reason. That's what's going on right now.
True, but
if you want the whole story, you got to dig. Or you know how it is.
You
have to dig, man.
And that's exactly it. And you dig and you dig and you dig and you find out the bedrock truth. And
so, but isn't that the
heartbreaking.
Isn't that the reason why though that you guys founded a shared universe? I mean, when you think back,
I think that's exactly it. And
I mean, that's why we're here, right? I mean, because you guys would come back from cons. No, I mean,
that's what. Go ahead, finish your statement,
and then you can get on with it, right? So we've been married 20 years. You got to give us a break. But I mean, really, you guys would come back from cons, and that's what you brought back with you and shared with us. I mean, he shared it with me. You shared it with Debbie and everybody else. All the stories that you got from people and how important it was to give them a way and a means to share their experience and their stories with other people, right? And to build that sense of understanding and trust and knowledge,
absolutely,
and fun, and even argument, right? Push back on things, test out ideas. And so we're sitting here, right? That's the whole concept.
Exactly. And that's the one thing that we've lost as a nation is civil discourse, where I can disagree with you. And I can tell you that you're wrong, and I can tell you why I think you're wrong.
Have we lost that? I see it on Twitter like every day.
That's because people, it's not civil, not in the least. And people cut other people off.
Did we ever have that?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, there were times
when what name? I don't remember that.
1640.
I mean, I think you're just more aware of it because of social media. It's easier to have.
I'm sure it is.
What's the opposite of civil discourse? Like uncivil.
Discourse?
You should read some of the transcripts from like the early Congress.
Oh, I would love it. Oh, it's some awesome stuff.
They were brutal.
God, I mean, I think the term cocksmoker came from. The first Continental Congress.
I thought Kevin made that up in Clerks 1994, but okay.
No,
I'd never heard it before. I saw Clerks.
It's a Jersey thing.
Is it? Okay.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But you're getting beat down, and you pointed it out before, Ming, before we went on air.
Right.
It's in our name, a shared universe.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
This is what it is, and if I'm picking a side, I'm picking right over might. I'm picking.
I mean, you've always done that.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, if anyone ever had a doubt, I'm drawing the line.
Yeah, I don't think anybody had a doubt.
And it's I have never hated an entire group of people because they were an entire group of people.
Right.
I have disliked people.
You've hated individual people, but that's for for things that they did individually, not as a race or a person.
I can
Kirk Cameron, he's a person. George Clooney, he's a person.
Yes, I don't hate
Ed
them.
Norton. He's a person.
I've never had a problem with Ed Norton.
Are you okay?
I'm positive I didn't have a problem with
Okay.
Ed Norton,
Okay.
unless it was
I mean,
the Art
this is-
Carney Ed Norton, and he was just an idiot.
Oh, right.
But
this is a long list, but now you've never
there's-
hated a whole group.
And there's, to be honest with you, I don't hate anyone now. I'm just like, seriously, I can
That's going on
honestly
record
say-
right now.
Absolutely.
Right now. So you
There's
you
forgiveness
How many
in my
people are
heart.
watching right now? How many people
so
are
you're
witnessing
telling
this
you
right
and
now?
you and Rob Bruce can go on and have dinner
No,
together.
but we can't. I choose not
And,
to let
you
him in
guys
my
can
life.
sit down and have
But-
tea together. And
But
be like,
if you
"Hey."
ask me, have I forgiven him? Absolutely.
Okay, but you haven't forgotten.
No, why would I?
Okay, all right.
But-
okay, I'm just checking.
And to be honest with you, I think that his family's, his oldest son, Josh, great kid. His
We're not
wife,
talking about him though.
No, I'm.
we're not
but
talking
I'm.
about her either.
But I'm also talking.
all right,
about
I don't
just
want
in
to.
general.
I'm
You're
kidding.
egging
around.
me
I'm
on.
kidding. I'm
But
kidding.
here's-
Ming had to throw that
I know.
that
Well,
that
you were so
flash
adamant.
bomb
It's like, I
into
don't hate
the,
anybody. It's like,
no,
wait a minute.
it's true.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. I'm gonna drop
Even
it.
Ladondo is probably sitting back on. Like, he's like, that guy's full of shit. And no, it's true. I did. I
Yeah.
forgave him
Ladondo
because I had to.
smokes?
No, who knows?
He
Smoke
all of a
something.
sudden became a truly interesting person then in that one moment.
Wow. Oh my God. Chris Ladondo getting beat down by my wife.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been thinking all weekend some kind of, I would like to post something that shows our support.
Then let's do that.
And
and
that we are anti-racist, obviously. That
I would hope
we
so.
support Black lives, Black endeavors, Black people, Black podcasters, Black
absolutely.
art creators, and that what we've seen in the last week is not right. It needs to be changed. And I just been trying to find the right words. But,
Well, everyone needs to be able to tell their stories.
Yeah,
And I think this is the perfect vehicle for that. And that's number one. But number two is, you know what? It's the more you I'm going to sound like the NBC, the Saturday morning, the more you know, the more you learn, the less ignorant you are, and the less ignorant you are.
Sure. I Mike's got the
hatred-
little star going above.
Yeah,
his
there
head
you go.
right now.
There it is. And we need to learn that empathy is so damn uncommon these days. Nobody has empathy. Everybody has sympathy. And sympathy is the worst thing. It's like pity. So don't pity anybody. Try to put yourself in their shoes.
All right. You don't even pity the fool?
I've never pitied that fool.
Okay.
Some of the most impactful things that I saw today when I got back into social media, though, were are images of the protesters walking and their local police, their local law enforcement, putting down
Sure,
their
joining
weapons,
them.
taking off their masks,
Sure.
their helmets, and like helping to carry the banner, kneeling with them, taking a knee with them.
We need more of that. Yes.
And I was like wondering, okay, beyond the obvious, like why? Because it's just the right thing to do. It's like, but like even deeper. And I guess it's the best I could get to by the middle of the day in between working and thinking about it is that, it kind of shows them putting aside their ego. And then I read something, it said, I don't know, from my perspective, I don't know your pain. I can't understand it.
no,
Never will.
I mean, we never will,
but I'm also not going to try to co-opt it, and I'm not going to try to put my ego in front of you.
Sure.
So basically the message was, tell me what to do. Like, tell me what you need. I'm not going to try to predict what you need or
Right.
assume what you need or project what you need or, impose what I really would like to have and call it what I think you need. Just tell me what you need. Like, you need me to kneel with you? I'm kneeling with
Sure,
you.
sure,
You need me to
absolutely.
carry the banner? I'll carry the banner.
Right.
Whatever
Yeah,
it is.
you need me to walk beside you? I will. You need me to step in front of you? I will.
Right.
That's what you need. That's what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. But, it's I've told this story before, and I'll tell it again. When I was at Georgetown, because it's probably apropos, when I was at Georgetown, I was teaching in a special program that was meant to make accessible, a college education at Georgetown to kids who were incredibly motivated, but they hadn't, they didn't have the grades, they hadn't scored high enough on the entrance exams to get in. But they had other qualifying factors. And these were a lot of kids who came from inner cities. And so they'd come in for the summer and they'd get really intensive reading, writing, and critical thinking.
Right.
So, and then support throughout their first year. to help them be successful, then they were mainstreamed. And, a lot of these kids had, came from, very vulnerable populations, low socioeconomic status, the whole 9 yards. A lot of them were people of color, right? So here I am, I came in, I'm a teaching assistant, and I'm doing my thing and not thinking anything about it, holding, class after class. And there was one young woman in one of my classes who would come every session, and she'd sit there and she would look down and she wouldn't engage. So probably after 4 or 5 classes, I called her and I'm like, listen, what's up? You come in, you sit down, you look down, you don't engage. What are you here for?
Right.
And then she for the first time, like, looked up at me. She goes, what do you want? And I was like, what? She goes, what's in this for you? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
My job.
And then I said, I'm like, what's with the attitude? Like if we were confrontation, I'm like,
Sure.
what's with the attitude? I'm just here, like, I'm here, I'm, teaching assistant, blah, 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 in this program. And, you're here. And she's like, let me tell you something. And then she told me her story, and she had grown up in Northern California, straight A student, both of her parents, professionals, very involved in the community, pretty much a charmed life, and, and well-deserved, because she was, bright as hell, and everyone was, super nice, and her family, she was like, everything was great. And then they moved, one of her parents got a job in Southern California, and they sold their house and they moved to Southern California, and they set up shop, and she goes to school, and all of a sudden, her grades start, suffering. And at first, everyone kind of just passes it off. Well, that's what happens when you move, hard to get established into a new, making new friends. I think she was in like I think she was just in high school. And, and then she started noticing when she started making a few friends, and then she'd say, oh, let me see that paper. And she would get her paper back, and it'd be like a D or a C. And she'd look at her friend's paper, and their paper was an A. And she's like, I mean, their stuff is shit compared to mine, and I'm getting graded lower. And soon she started to detect a pattern. They were all white and she wasn't, right? So a little bit of time goes by. They have an assignment that they're supposed to go, and they're supposed to take part in a community activity. And then they're supposed to report on it. They're talking about community building, how communities bond, and, blah, 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 blah. Well, her father had been involved in the Black Panthers. He was no longer involved, but he had been. And she saw a flyer. She found a flyer. Some friend gave her a flyer. I don't know how she found out about it. I forget. But about a KKK meeting. So she's like, well, I'm going to go. It's a community meeting. I'm going to go and see what it's all about. So she went and saw like 8 of her teachers there. They chased her out of there with a baseball bat, threatening to kill her. She didn't stay long in that school. Her parents,
I think
pulled her out. Yeah,
I would have been out of there.
So she
next freaking day if I knew that. She looked at me. She goes, "So, white girl, like, I'm asking you again, like, what are you here for?" Right.
And I'm like, wow. And I looked at her and I said, the first things that came out of my mouth, unpremeditated, I didn't think about it. I looked at her and I said, because I don't want your kids to kill my kids or my kids to kill your kids. That's like the first thing I said, because that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, oh my God, if that's like, I couldn't, her story had to be true, right? This was a completely unscripted moment. And I'm thinking, and that's the only thing I could think of. I'm like, oh my God, if that's true, like if this is the world we live in, then the possibility of our kids eventually growing up and, wanting to kill each other is incredibly real. So I'm like, that's why I'm here, I guess, then, because I don't want our kids to kill each other, So it is, and that was a long time ago. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem
I don't think
like anything has changed.
Nothing's changed.
If anything, it's just gotten, the problems have gotten more entrenched.
Sure.
And that's depressing. And then I look at our kids. I look at our kids, and I look at other kids, and then I think, well, maybe it's not hopeless.
We're in a completely racially diverse system over in Long Branch. The school system is, our kids are the minority. Which actually is kind of cool, because my boys they're exposed to so many different colors. It's amazing. stuff that I can't show them because I mean, Irish, Czechoslovakian, holy crap. Yeah, those are really
what is this?
interesting.
Hey, Dad, what is this hippity hop music? I'm like, I don't know, son. I don't know. NWA?
Yes. Who? I don't know,
I like,
boys.
you're like,
But-
hey, ho?
Oh,
like
exactly.
naughty by nature, Mike. They're from East Orange, New
I
Jersey.
gotcha.
But that's
It's a hippity hop.
that's
I
good. That
know.
was good. Okay,
Thank
all right,
you.
you got
I
it.
know.
See, you're
Well,
learning.
hey.
You're growing.
God.
You're learning. You're growing, dude.
I am not as ignorant as I was
Right.
10 minutes ago.
Sure.
But it's that, because if
It is
we
a question though. Like, what is it going to take? I mean, the story I just told happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, it hasn't
So
changed.
20 years
I don't
later,
think it's
nothing's changed. I'm sure that 20 years before that story happened, someone could have told a story similar. 20 years before that, someone could have told a story similar.
I
So,
can
I mean,
guarantee you that.
So
there's
you
that
do have to
story.
ask the question, like, okay, so
Are we
what
evolving
is
as
it-
a species?
What is it going to take for things to actually be different
this might be
and
it.
for us to stop just
This might
talking
be it.
about
I'm hoping it is. And here's what I want everyone to understand about this. If you're looking to the government to change this,
Right.
you're stupid. That is the most ludicrous. You cannot you can't legislate feelings.
Well, I think that's what
you
this
can't
is all about.
legislate
Then is,
morality. No, it has
government's
nothing
not
to
gonna
do with
change
that.
anything,
It has
so-
to do with people.
right.
People have to change.
Sure.
And if you don't get and I think a lot of it is yes. How many cops do we know? A bunch.
We're no good handful.
And
sure.
there are great cops, and then there are, just like in every aspect of life, there are great
Sure.
cops and there are shitty cops.
Absolutely.
So we're lucky enough to know some really great cops.
Sure.
And then I understand the whole Black Lives Matter argument,
Sure.
I
and
don't.
it's
I just don't. Yeah,
sweetheart.
I would never say that.
I
Why not?
understand. Yeah, I understand why there's the whole why people get loud when other people are like all lives matter, because it's like if a house is on fire and your house, if your neighbor's house is on fire and yours isn't, all houses matter, but their house is on fire.
Oh,
So
okay. I'm
it's
sorry. I misunderstood. I
You
misunderstood.
read that
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
cartoon I did this morning.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
No,
I'm
I
reading
didn't see
that
that.
one, but-
No, I completely
We're like,
misunderstood
So
what
I'm
you were
saving
saying.
Oh my
house,
God!
that's
So
saving
everyone
a
out there is
house.
like, Jesus, Mike's wife is a real
I was like,
freaking.
whoa. Yeah.
No,
What
no,
a
no.
racist.
No. I thought you were doing that thing that kind of annoys me, where like you're co-opting other people's experience. I misunderstood.
No,
what
not
you
at
were
all.
saying. I was-
Not at
Yes,
all.
honey.
I-
I have because you know me so well that I always do that. I'm
Well, I don't-
hey, yeah,
it's
because
very
it's a hip,
easy
a
to fall
hip,
into
a
that
hip,
trap
yeah,
because you
yeah.
want to be part
of course
something,
everyone
so,
wants
yeah,
to,
yeah,
and I was just talking to our oldest son about this the other day. When we go to war, when America goes to war,
Okay.
we have a propaganda machine. Actually, every country does.
It's part of war. Yeah.
Of course, where you
absolutely part of war.
dehumanize and you demonize the enemy.
In a way, it kind of justifies killing people that you don't know. Yes.
Take a look. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah,
talking
In a
it
way.
makes it a lot
Yeah.
easier for you if you're looking at a Superman comic from 1941 and he's like jamming a bomb up Hirohito's ass.
Sure.
You're like, hey, that was pretty funny. That's pretty cool. And they make him look like a grotesque,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
which they did, constantly. It was
Sure.
horrible.
Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he was the enemy. Yes.
Of course. And we tend to do that. But then years later, they're our allies. And now how do you backtrack that? How do you bring that back? And that's one of the things about humanity that is so fucked up is we will go to war over the stupidest thing.
Sure.
And I'm talking
It's happened many times.
Yes, we have.
It's happened many times.
It's really
It's
weird.
always about power and resources.
happened
It's about
many
power,
times.
resources, money, and almost. I mean, if you ever watch The Newsroom, there's that very famous clip. Jeff Daniels is sitting on a stage, and someone asks, "What makes America great?" And one guy's like freedom, and another one person's like, opportunity and education. And he's like, America's not great. We're not the greatest nation in the world. And he's like, we used to be. And you can go on YouTube and find the whole 5-minute clip. It depresses me because he's right. And America was never built on, all men being created equal. And that's the thing that sucks. Because, slaves were counted as 3/5 of a person, and women didn't even have the right to vote.
Sure.
It was, and
well,
it is.
Took battles to get those changed too, though.
Of course. So, and a lot of bloodshed to get those damn things changed.
It did.
And we still haven't gone, your story of 20 years ago is still, it's very touching. I love hearing that story. But even before that,
it's a horrible story. It's a horrible story that it still resonates.
True. But I love that you recognize that there was a problem. And I think that's where it's going to start. It starts with the people. It doesn't start with the government.
No,
it never starts with the government. They need to put in place, safeguards so that George Floyd doesn't happen again.
Right.
And they need
there need to be consequences.
Honey, I'd rather not have it happen at all.
No. But,
so if there are consequences, then guess what?
Yes.
Yes. And the harshest consequences.
Right. But stop it before it even starts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
good point.
And that's how we have to educate ourselves. And when anything ever gets done in this country, it's not because of the government. It's because of people acting kind of crazy and doing things that are outside the norm. I'm not talking about like looting and rioting. That's that Venn diagram that's in there. It's like denounce looting and rioting.
Sure.
And it's like, yes, because that's just stupid. And it's pitting black people against white people. And I don't know if there are outside agitators, but I know that there are people who want that to happen. And I don't want
that want to exacerbate.
Of course, they want to take an existing situation and they want to make it worse.
They're there.
Of course they are.
They're out there.
Did you hear that there was a pallet of bricks?
I've heard many stories. That was one of many stories. Yeah.
And it's the guy who sells the bucket of rotting fruit at the talent show.
Sure.
Yeah. That's who
what
it is.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with rotting fruit? Throw it.
Yeah, you're gonna do nothing but throw it or feed it to your pigs.
Sure.
Or throw it at feeding pigs. I don't know, but it always starts. It starts small, and it has to grow, and it has to grow from the people, because nothing good ever is accomplished by the government.
Sure.
Almost never. Because, like I said, you cannot legislate morality, but and I've always believed this in my heart, that the people
almost never. You sound like an anarchist now, dude.
No, almost never. But it's true. Name me one thing that
I think the Declaration of Independence was a pretty
that was people. That wasn't a government.
But it was
the government did that.
Honey, it was a government
document. It is a government document, but. Yeah, but guess what? It was done by a bunch of terrorists.
I wouldn't say almost never, but there are things that can be called into question, but they can be changed too, which is why.
I don't know. The government stay out of shit.
Yeah,
let the government stay out of shit.
But do you really? I mean, obviously, morals and values play a role here, but on the other hand, and I've said this before. My where I start to get like desperately like just hopeless when I look at the human race is when I sit here and I think, you know what, even if we all woke up tomorrow with exactly the same shade of,
I'm sure. Well, that
Derma, then what would it be? Because humans,
they would be something else. Yeah, of course.
Humans just seem to be driven, and it's about power. It's about exercising power and control over someone else, and whether that was the people that were taller than you or had longer hair than you, or the blue-eyed versus brown-eyed people, or the blah blah versus blah blah people. Like, there'd be something human beings would use to divide and to say, you are out there, not as good,
right?
me and mine over here better. We deserve all the good things. You take all the leftovers.
Well, that's the
right?
question.
You know,
how do you
so it's
how do you
like-
change that?
Exactly.
How do we change
right?
that?
So like that's because I mean, in a lot of cases, what we're seeing now and why they're spending billions of dollars to pit people against each other. It isn't because of they're amoral, completely amoral. They just care about the money. They're trying to keep the money and the power.
They're spending millions to make billions, and that's the thing. And yes, of course it is. And
they don't care who dies or who's vilified, or they really don't care.
So how do we like get those guys out of power? I don't know.
Vote them out.
And somebody brought this up to me. Yes, this is the best idea in the world.
Go vote.
Smartest
Vote
idea in the
November.
world. And why isn't the Democratic Party doing this at every one of those protests?
Okay.
Why aren't you signing people up to vote?
That's a great question.
Why aren't you doing that? And why don't you do me a favor and get somebody besides Joe Biden out there? Even though that's a little too political. I didn't vote for either one of them last time around. I voted for a third party
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Yeah, it's true. And I'm not voting for Biden this year. I'm not voting for the other chump either. But I'll throw my
you must not be named.
Your vote for Ralph Nader fell on deaf ears, I guess. And
it was a
rest in peace.
It was a write-in vote for Stan Lee, and I think he would have done one hell of a job.
Not Gary Shandling or not Robert Redford.
No,
not President Robert.
No.
We should have had Bartlett.
Yeah, actually, Martin Sheen.
President
Although
Bartlett.
Martin Sheen's kind of a lunatic as well. But
Is
that's
he?
beside the point.
Okay.
Yes, vote. Get them out.
Yeah,
get all of them out. But pick someone who's going to do something for you. Not someone who's like the best of a bad lot. Back in the day when we were growing up. Actually, maybe not. Yeah,
oh my gosh,
maybe
is he playing the back in the day when we were growing up?
No,
I did not vote for Walter Mondale. No.
You should have. Back in the day.
Why?
Were you ever told that
Reagan was a good president? Why would I ever vote Walter Mondale?
Were you ever told that you could grow up to be president?
Every kid did.
Of course,
sure.
And what do you think of the odds of that happening?
Back then, or now?
Of you growing up to be president?
It could. I was born in this country. Whatever. I would have been 30. I wouldn't have passed 35. Back. I mean, who knows? Back then, if I had the right upbringing and if I had the right influences and the right, maybe knew the right people. I don't know if America's ready for an Asian president now per se, but Trump was 72, so in another 30 years maybe.
No, why wouldn't America be ready for an Asian president? Actually, an Asian American president, because you have to be American, of course.
Right. In 2020, I wouldn't see that happening.
They wouldn't even give Andrew Yang a place on the stage to debate. Did he make it to any of the debates?
I don't think it's because he was Asian American, honey. I think it's because he didn't have enough popular support. I think that's part of it.
Just speaking, honestly, for where we are in the society. Yeah, I don't think America's ready for an Asian president. Not quite yet.
I don't think that.
And I think this freaking virus didn't help our cause any either.
Well, you kidding? I have no problem. How many people go for Chinese takeout?
Right now, not very many, but
a lot. Oh my God!
Right today, not very many.
Well, it's Monday, so a lot of people aren't going out for anything.
During this virus, not very many.
I don't know.
I mean, if you could get all the people who love Chinese food to vote for an Asian, then you got them. Maybe that's the ticket I should run on.
Yeah, I was
gonna say. love Ek Fu Young, vote Ming. I'm like that's
or 2 from column A, 1 from column Ming.
Right,
How about
exactly.
That?
Yeah. No, I think
can I be your campaign manager?
Absolutely not.
All right, that's probably smart. Yeah. But here's the thing: you don't have a choice. If you're gonna pick,
we're getting to the thing.
Yeah, this is the thing. If you're picking the worst or the best out of the, you're the devil you know versus the devil you don't.
Right.
That sucks. It's the heart of American politics, but it sucks.
Absolutely.
So what do you do?
Vote for either of them then.
Vote for the third party. You make sure that at least one of them getting in.
Sure.
Because you're throwing your vote away.
You can look at it that you can look at it that way, but
You can. Lodondo keeps telling me that I'm throwing my vote away, and I elected Trump president.
I think
so
that's
I didn't know I had that
I
kind
think
of power.
that's I think that's better than some of our friends who don't vote at all, thinking won't make
That's
a difference. I think that's
I think that
but that's for another podcast for sure.
the only presidential election I didn't vote in was 2012. Was it 2012? It was 2012 when Sandy hit.
No, yeah, well, you had bigger fish to fry at that point. I mean, the hurricane had just hit.
A hurricane had just hit,
You had
and
bigger. I mean, I don't want to say you had bigger fish to fry. You should have gone and voted, but you had other things to worry about. Sure.
Oh, Michael P. Jr. I like this guy.
What did he say?
Says don't vote. Oh, I
Don't
think
vote.
I think he comes on to be a.
I
vote
do
for
not.
Yang,
I
don't
do not back the don't vote at all.
No,
And,
no, I'm just. Well,
and for a
everyone
while,
do the opposite of Michael P. Jr.
I think when I was there, I definitely felt that way. I was like, this isn't going to count. This isn't. But if that's a problem, though, it's a problem. If too many people feel that way, you're not going to get any change. So
I know. I
So-
vote every election. There hasn't been
Local
a-
elections,
local, the whole 9
state,
yards.
national. Yep.
Sometimes I vote twice.
that's great.
I'm
That's, that's great. Once is Mike Zapcic, once is Donald Duck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the best thing to do is get out there. That's what I would do, and put somebody up that can actually beat Trump.
Sure.
You know, Biden is how 81.
I don't know.
I believe he's
Somebody
81,
chime in,
and yeah, if someone wants to fact check me, I think he's 81. But here's the thing that that makes me laugh is everyone was bitching about McCain, and he was too old. He was like 79 or 80,
something like that. Yeah.
At least he could remember what town he was in. So
Right.
it was a good thing. So
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
so and that's his. I mean, we used to say we don't get political. I guess we got political.
Well,
this time
I
around.
think right now we have we have to. I mean, we don't have to, but I mean, you can't
No, we
stand.
have to.
You can't stand
Yeah.
silent on
No.
this. You can't ignore it. You definitely can't ignore it. And
No,
you
because if you
can't.
do, you're part of the problem.
Right. You can't pretend that it doesn't. It's not happening. So
No, and try to put yourself in. Try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, even for a minute. But like that lady, that Amy Cooper, is
yes.
that her name?
Mhm.
Amy Cooper, who called the cops
Right.
on that guy in
Right.
Central Park. So what was his first name? Chris Cooper.
I think so. Yeah.
It was Chris Cooper. He was
He
an
worked for
editor of
Marvel. Yeah.
editor of Marvel. Yeah. That's threatening to sick the cops on someone is pretty damn cowardly, in my opinion.
Oh,
So-
sure, but
And she was like killing her dog.
Christian
too.
Cooper. Christian Cooper.
Sorry, Christian. And he has a right to run he has a right to birdwatch without fear of getting attacked by a dog. He has the fear. He has the right to go into Central Park and birdwatch
Sure,
without fear,
of course.
without being harassed by somebody. But what a week, man. What a freaking week.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it doesn't get worse. It looks like it is, though. It just,
Why? What have
seems-
you heard?
No, I'm just,
Okay.
I'm just seeing friends'
you're being negative.
neighborhoods, burning and tear gassed. And
How's Michigan doing? How are your parents? Are they okay?
they're fine. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's a great question. I don't know what kind of demonstrations are happening in Ann Arbor, but
You're not too far from Detroit, so
it's pretty far. That'd be a hell of a march from downtown Detroit.
no,
but
I'm
even
saying
then-
that
Yeah.
it's a half an
Well,
hour.
you know what?
Or
What
10
I've been
minutes if you're
noticing
driving
is
like me.
these towns that are historically very violent are having very peaceful demonstrations. Camden,
Amazing, right?
very very peaceful.
Newark?
Flint, Michigan,
Yeah.
so far Newark. So yeah,
And New York was horrible, from what I understand. But I've been seeing like differing reports.
Yeah,
Like I saw, there was looting on Park Avenue. But
I
that
mean,
can-
there's been looting everywhere. It's pretty terrible. It's
Yeah.
pretty terrible. And
Do we have any more questions? Because I think we have to wrap up because you guys. Have to do
Yeah.
your-
we have a few. Well, I was just trying to think like, well, what can we do here as a studio, as us, as an entity here? What can we do to help anybody out? And I always go to is like, well, we provide a service here. We provide a way for people to vent and get their voices heard in a way, potentially worldwide. I would like to put it out there with, if you agree with me, that if anybody needs a place to vent, if anybody wants to record something, maybe just how they feel, just get it out. We don't have to put it up, but maybe if you want to record it, or so we're constantly doing it.
Oh my God, yeah, of course.
Hit me up free of charge. I would love to. I am here to help you out. If you want to get your voice out there, let me know, and I will help you get your voice out there.
If you got a story to tell it.
Yeah, if you have a story to tell, maybe you were at a protest, something happened, or if you just want to talk, let me know. This is what I want to put it out there. It's the only thing I can kind of think of that I can do, that we can do right now immediately.
Is there a way to do like an open Zoom call where you can just like post it and people could come in and
yeah, we could. It's a little unorganized and unruly,
yeah.
but I was like, hey, if you and I know some of our fellow podcasters might just maybe not for their own shows, but maybe just want to just have something to say that they want to.
I wonder how our friends in Podcast Detroit are doing.
They're doing good.
Yeah,
okay. They're doing good. They're I mean, other than us, they're the only studio I know that's still going. So
yeah,
for sure. But hit me info@ashareduniverse.com. Send me an email. Hit me on Facebook. Hit me on Twitter. Hit me on Twitch. Hit me on send me a TikTok. I don't care.
All right.
If you want, if you have a spare hour, if you need to vent, we're here for you for sure.
Oh my God, we're like Fraser Crane.
In a way, yeah. And
why not? This is actually,
and I don't even know if that's enough, but we have the means. This is what we do. We have the means to get your voice heard out there. And if maybe you have a prior experience you want to talk about.
John Kokoza comes in with Chris Cooper. Work with him in the '90s at Marvel.
Yeah, for sure.
There you are. That's our boy John. And he said, not kidding, literally the nicest guy ever, even nicer than Mike, believe it or not. After my little tirade there, John, thank you so much.
I I don't believe it, but I mean that's the only way I can think of immediately where maybe we could.
If you
I don't even know if that helps, but
hell, even if you're feeling cooped up, call the stash. I'm there for the next 2 weeks.
Sure.
I'm just cleaning. Call me up.
Sure.
You want to vent?
I wonder if we can offer. I wonder if there are local groups that have some history, because how like you did the podcast with your mom.
Sure.
And now you have that for posterity. And I know that we've done some podcasts with schools. Like, I'm wondering if we can help like some local community groups who have a history of building community the right way to, come in and share some of their experiences, get some things down for their oral histories. So they can preserve that.
If you come in here, I would love to help them out.
How about, oh my God, that's a great idea. An oral history.
Sure.
Damn it. We do that, like an oral history of, people who've been telling their family stories, back from the 1600s to now. Like, get that oral history out and get it out there so people can hear, so people can find out that, we haven't changed all that much in the past 300 years or 200 years.
Well, yeah,
I would like to hear that, but also you can learn.
Yeah, I'm thinking, and I don't, and unfortunately, I don't even know all the community groups. I do know that there are some community groups that have been very active, though, and there are a lot of local churches too, historically Black churches that have had, a tremendous impact on the community and building community. So maybe some of them want to come in and talk about some of their church leaders and some of their history, their founding, like their on their
absolutely. I think they need to get it down for sure if they haven't already.
Them to have and to make it available for other people to learn about those organizations and what they're doing too.
Absolutely. But yeah, and if you just need a vent, hit us up. I'll set everything up for you. I'll be an ear for you if you want me, if you want me there, or grab some friends, or it doesn't have to be just you. Grab some other people and just I think it's a good way to get it out. That's half the reason we do this.
Have a dialogue.
We can get that voice out there for you as well. So
hell yeah,
for sure. And hopefully this fucking week looks up. I just don't. It's just one thing after another, man.
Dude, it's only Monday.
I know.
I know. I got you. I came in here. I needed to talk, and I needed to do it.
Good.
That wasn't
Yeah,
in front of
totally.
a computer, which I mean, it lessens. That's the only bad thing about like the distance is that you can't feel the vibe.
Well, that's why in 2 weeks people will be coming back and we'll get that vibe back.
Hell yeah.
But you know,
For
while
sure.
we were forced where it was not legal to come in here, you know, thank you everybody for sticking with us, for starting shows, keeping your shows going, maybe spreading the word, getting other people to come on over. It's
Those shows look good though.
been-
You did a
it's been
great
fun.
job setting people up with the streaming, so that
It's
when
gonna
you,
keep
so,
going.
So that when
We're
you
gonna
present
get-
them,
it's,
it looks awesome. Yeah.
every day I find
Awesome.
a way to make
Ming
it
has
even
done-
better.
Ming has
Every
done a
day I
great
find
job.
a way to make it better, get your
I'm
stuff
kidding.
out there.
Just
So
giving credit where credit is due.
and
The moment he screws up, I'm gonna go bury him out in the backyard.
good-
but you
good
know,
girl.
Yeah.
and
so,
I love shared universe is everywhere. I'm getting ready to change the logo. Logo used to have a little thing that said New Jersey on the bottom of it. It's worldwide now, man. So
Yeah.
for sure.
true
So
that.
that's what I'm looking forward to. What I'm looking forward to getting people back in here. So yeah, we'll wipe everything down and hope better days. Like the hilarity and the
wait a
ball
second. So
busting.
everyone
will
should go
continue.
and grab
So
their merch now because
Why,
it's gonna change. Oh no, none of these have the Jersey thing on there.
but no, I did that on
Brought
purpose.
this?
I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose. Well, I was preparing for the future. It's
Forward
Well, we still
thinking.
love Jersey. This
well,
is
I mean
our-
that's
this is
where
our
that's where the
hometown.
home will be.
Chen.
But as always, the universe is expanding
It's
each
true.
and every day for sure. So,
Stephen Hawking taught me that.
yeah, he did for sure. So
All right.
so I'm trying to figure out if I have anything else. Boxes coming back 2 weeks.
Boxes will be coming
possibly.
back 2 weeks.
We studio open in 2 weeks.
Studios
Yeah,
open in 2 weeks.
proper precautions and just we're always here for you.
And we're looking forward to
We're always
seeing you guys in
You
studio.
guys will be back on schedule for the Ming and Mike show.
I'm not promising anything
Yeah,
because we
come
just
on.
got even more busy. We were pretty damn busy for this whole
Yes,
whole
ma'am.
time.
Yeah, I know.
With people coming back, it's get even busier. So I'm not making that promise quite yet. But
Well, we'll figure out a day that we can block off.
But I mean, just real quick, we did a thing with Walt and Brian and a couple other guys yesterday, and it was good. It was the first time I kind of felt normal the last 10 weeks.
right.
And
It was weird because even Walt was like, this is pretty cool.
yeah.
Walt doesn't.
Yeah, and he
say stuff
planned
like
it
that.
too. He put
I
it all
know.
together. I'm like, what the hell? I love he always hits me on text. He's like, hey man, are you free? Yeah, it was text I got. I think it was on Friday. He's like, you free?
Yeah, he's
Sunday, we're
usually
gonna-
like 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah,
Like, don't
it's like-
forget the date.
right. But it was literally like, hey, you free on Sunday? We're doing this. Can you make it? I was like, fuck yeah, I can make it. Like I would not miss this for anything, man. I would not miss this for anything. And I imagine a lot of people on here are patrons.
Patreon.
Patreon, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Yes,
And,
you will.
Yeah, and I don't know why. We did think there was some physicality involved. Not much. It was pretty. I don't know why. I thought back. I woke up this morning. I was a little sore.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
Because you're old.
It sucks.
That's what
We didn't even
happens.
do
Yeah, I know.
anything.
It was
When you see this, it was literally like
I know.
nothing.
I'm
I
with
was
you
like, why am I sore?
because
It was awful. It was
we're
absolutely
gentlemen
awful.
of a certain age, and I think
It's-
that's why we
it's-
did this because it was
depressing.
it was funny
It was
as shit.
absolutely depressing.
It was depressing for you.
But
I
wait.
woke up. I'm like, yeehaw! I'm alive because I can
Right.
feel the pain.
It was pretty depressing. I'm like, what the hell, man? This is not. We literally did not really. We did nothing that would be considered strenuous, and yet
Good night, princess.
we were sore. So I guess we'll leave you with that for sure. But, yeah, but I mean, I just want to leave we can't thank you guys enough. And even if you didn't record, if you threw out a word of support,
Even if you just
if you liked, if you tuned in, if you liked some of the posts, maybe you shared some of them, maybe you told your friends, whatever. Maybe a lot of people are buying merchandise. That's really taken off. Like anything. Thank you. It was a period of about maybe 18, 24 hours of sheer panic
Yeah.
Man,
You were
was-
dookie in your days. So
and for good reason.
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
everybody
Everything
was.
everything that
I
we
think
built
everybody was.
would have just been down the crapper. So
Damn. So hopefully, yeah. I mean, yeah. Hopefully, we'll be seeing each other soon. We'll be at the store. We'll be at cons, whatever.
yep.
I'm waiting for that. So but until then, we'll keep doing this, man. We'll just keeping a voice out in the ether, I guess.
And I just want to say hi to Laura Richter. Love you, baby. Miss you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just talked to Laura. Again, if nothing, all these virtual connections we've made, all the podcasts we've been on,
Yep.
these are things we would not have done if there was no pandemic. So
Scott, Nick,
if we can
Stuart,
maybe take a positive out of that, that's one of them.
Elena.
And but yeah, if you were in here prior or you were trying to get down here, we really look forward to having you
CJ
down here. I got a vacuum, and I'll close on this. And this is a little note of positivity. You're in here. You're wearing your sweatshirt. Did you notice we're not steaming hot in here?
Yes,
That's
isn't that
because
awesome?
they finally came in here after 2.5 years. They came in here. And this for all the Tell 'em Steve Dave listeners too. Finally fixed the fucking air conditioning in here.
Yeah.
Hopefully it lasts, because it don't start slapping asses yet. Don't start sucking dicks yet, because it may not last. So
Oh boy!
But for
this
today-
podcast was pretty good.
Yeah,
but
up
for
until
right
the-
now,
the last 10
right
seconds.
now,
Yeah,
I gotta say it's
exactly.
probably about a good 68, maybe 70
yeah, it
degrees in
feels
here.
good in here.
Yeah, for the last 2.5 years, there were some years there was over 90.
Yeah,
We got crap for it.
Yeah, we did.
We got crap from a couple of guys who
That's-
hate sweating. But
I know. Well, more than a couple, but yeah, I
it's
understand.
little things. So it's feeling
Feels
pretty
good.
good.
In here.
It's
Feels
I'm
good. Looks
it's feeling pretty
feels
good in here.
Yep.
And the guys I talked to today said, listen, we're starting at the top and we're working our way down. I'm like, dude, thank you guys. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I guess that's
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I guess
Guess
that's it,
that's
man.
all
Until
we
the next
got, so-
episode.
Until next
Yes.
time you see us, and
yeah. Well,
be good to each other.
That's a good sign off, Mike. All right, thank you guys very much. We will talk to you soon. So.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to see that's how I dream to be. I dream I move. I move. I dream I move. Mike, if I could be like Mike. Yeah, I try. Just need to fly. I wanna fly. Just one day if I could be that way. I dream I move. I dream I groove. Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Oh, if I could be like Mike. If I could be like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Be like Mike. Oh. Be like Mike. Be like Mike. Be like Mike. Sometimes I feel this dream is real. The shots I make, nobody else would take. Oh, no. I seem to soar. Can hear the roar like mine. If I could be like mine. Like mine. If I could be like mine. Oh, gonna be like mine. 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 If I could be like mine. Be like mine. Be like mine. If I could be like
So I get a 16, smooth and I see Michael, your body, Michael, tower, yeah, with power, pressure, on off the hold like a military, put down a smile and coming out smooth.